Hey folks, thanks for joining me today. So this is the first video of my Tiki Mask coasters. What I did was I have a mold, first of all, that makes these coasters and a holder. So I used the same Ultracal 30 that I used for my stones, and I made these coasters and the holder, and then I gave it a coat of black with paintbrush, and then I went in with a sponge, as you just saw with my finger dauber, and I made it so that it was a little bit smoother, and it gave it a nice even second coat. And now I'm just going to sketch it on. So I'm going with some very over exaggerated features. All of the tiki masks that I have looked at for inspiration and to see how exactly they are done, they all have very animated or accentuated pieces of their faces, and they're all in very bright colors. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And once I have the design sketched on, I know I just painted over the entire thing with white. And now you can't see it anymore, but that's okay because I have it in my mind's eye already by sketching it on. It's already in my head. So I know where those features need to go, and I'll just do that once I get this coat of paint on. So I only do one coat of paint of white because I just need it to be the base coat to allow that these bright colors to stay bright, not get muted by the black background. And now I am putting on some Palomino tan, and I'm just doing it for the mask part to make the kind of like the wood look. And then with my chisel brush, while the paint is still wet, I went and I dipped the tip of the chisel into some spice tan. These colors are by Delta, and I bring it down to make it look like it's wood by using the technique of one-stroke painting. So I have learned a lot from the one-stroke painting from Donna Dewberry. I really urge you to go and check her out. She's got amazing tutorials. She explains things so amazingly and easy to understand. So I do urge you to go and check her out. So what I'm doing now, I kind of abandoned afterwards, but I was trying to make it look like wood cracks in the top of his head. And what it ended up looking like was hair, and that's not what I was going for. So I wanted to show you this, that you know, you can paint something, you have it in your head on what you think it's going to look like, and it turns out totally different. But with acrylic paint, you just let it dry, and then you can fix it, you can paint over it, whatever you want to do. So I just wanted to show you that this is what I had originally done, but I changed it. So you'll see that a little bit later on in the video. But it's just to show you that, you know, you can make a mistake, but it's not the end of the world. All you have to do is just let it dry, and then you can go in and paint it again. And that's what I do. So I'm really, really trying to fix this up to make it look more like cracks in the wood, and I'm adding a little bit of lightness to it, and yeah, it just didn't work. So I will change it a little bit later. Now I'm putting on his eyes, and I'm using my tool from the Ditting Center, and there was just too much paint, and I really needed it to be flattened out because I will be putting black pupils on there. So I wanted to flatten it out, and so that's what I did. And now I've got to make it into that oval kind of shape that I had originally sketched on. So all I do is I take from the circle and I pull out at the bottom and from the top and bring it down to a rounded point. So they kind of look like alien eyes right now, but trust me, we will get this fixed up. And my paint was rather thick, so I was trying to level it out. And I did the best that I could. So it is what it is. So now I'm using Ocean Blue from DecoArt, and I am putting on his eyebrows and sort of like the bridge of his nose as well. So I'm painting this on just, solid color. I'm not worried about any, I just want to get the shape on basically. I can do any of the details afterwards, but trying to keep this symmetrical. I'm telling you, I've said it before in many of my other videos. When I'm doing eyes and I'm trying to keep them symmetrical, I just can't. I don't know what it is, but I have such a huge problem with it. So I did kind of struggle with these tiki masks because they're looking right at you, and so I need to have some symmetry to them, and I kind of fumbled a bit on some of them. But you know what? It's okay because that's what makes it art, and that's what makes it mine. So just remember that we're not machines. We can't be perfect. And honestly, if I was buying something that was handmade, I would want to see some minor imperfections in it, because then it is truly one of a kind. And that's what my paintings are all about. I cannot duplicate. I have tried in the past, even with doing dotted mandalas, or mandalas, however you want to say it. I find that if I'm doing like a series of patterns, like on mugs or Christmas bulbs or something like that, I cannot keep the pattern exactly the same. My mind goes off into creative land, and I lose sight of it. So all of my stuff is truly one of a kind, and I'm proud of that. It's something that I can be very, very proud and sell it as that, because really, like, you're not going to get it. You might find something similar, but you're not going to find something exact. And that's what I love about painting. So as I was yapping there, you saw that I painted on his nose, and I did it in red. And now this paint here that I'm using, I mixed myself. It is mixed with the blue, which is the ocean blue, and then I threw in some Kelly green, and I mixed those together. And that's how I ended up with this color. Now I mixed a lot because I wanted to use the same colors throughout all four. And I knew I wasn't going to get it all done in one day. And I knew that if I did mix it up and let it dry out, then the next time I mix it, I'm not going to get the same color. So what I do to save my paint, and stay tuned here, this is a tip and trick here. What I do is I dampen a paper towel and I lay it on top of my paint tray, and then I put it into a Ziploc bag and seal it. That keeps my paint fresh. It keeps it from drying out, and I can use it again a little bit later when I'm going back to doing my paintings. You can get those little containers that you usually get in like paint by numbers, things like that. You can use those, but I'm all about being frugal. I'm all about reusing, and this was just the easiest way for me to do it. I don't have those little containers for my paint, so that's what I do. I just use a dampened paper towel and a Ziploc bag, and it works. The only thing that I will tell you is that you might have to mix up the paint again because there might be a little bit of water that has evaporated or dropped down from the paper towel into your paint tray. but that's what acrylic paint is. It's water-based, so it's not that big of a deal. You just mix in the water and you're good to go. So as I've been yapping there, I have used that mixed paint. You can see that it is a little bit transparent, so I do a second coat, which, by the way, I did with the magic of editing, and it's already done. And I found that with the red paint, this is True Red by DecoArt. By the way, all of the colors will be listed in the description below, so if I forget to mention, that's where you'll find all the details. But I find that the red, I had to do like 2 or 3 coats because you could see the paint from behind. So the grains of the wood that I had painted on, you could see those coming through. So I really had to pay attention to that, and I put on 2 or 3 coats. So now I'm doing the leaves on his head, and I'm using the light green by Craftsmart, and I'm using Kelly green. Oh, sorry, wait. I'm using Christmas green. No. I know what colors I'm using. I'm just not saying the right ones. Okay, so I'm going to start over. So I'm using light green and Kelly green in those 2 leaves there. And then the leaf in the middle is going to be Christmas green because I really wanted it to be a solid, bright color. And again, I'm using the techniques of the one-stroke painting for the leaves, and I'm doing it again here on the eyes. I'm using Pure Pumpkin by DecoArt, and then I mixed in a tiny, tiny little bit of black. You can kind of see that on my brush, that the black is, excuse me, is on the outside or on the chiseled part. And I just wanted to give it almost like a glowing kind of look to his eyes. So that's why I did it that way. So now I'm using the Christmas green, and I'm putting it in the center of that leaf, so that the center leaf is going to be Christmas green. It's just to give it a different color. I wanted to keep all leaves green, but it's to give it a different color. And then I tried to do it like almost like a Christmas tree because it was Christmas green. And so it turned out to be a little bit more of a decorative kind of a leaf. It didn't really turn out the way that I was looking at trying to get it to be, but I still liked it anyways, especially after I did that. I used the light green and I put in some veining, and now I'm using some black paint to really clean up the outer edges of this tiki mask. I outline everything as well, and this really separates the different features, and I was very happy with the way that it turned out. Let me know what you think. You can leave me a comment, or you can leave me the thumbs up. It's the fastest and easiest way to do it. If you're new, I want to say thank you for joining me. And if you like this, make sure you subscribe. I do post a lot of videos, and I do take requests, so you can throw that down into the comments as well. And make sure you ring the little notification bell, because that will be the little tell that I have just posted something new for you to watch. So make sure you do that as well. So like I said, I'm just going in, I'm doing all of the detail work here. I'm outlining everything. I will be putting pupils into those orange cavities, the eye cavities. I will be using a tool from the Ditting Center to put in the black pupils, and I do add some little white spots to give it sort of like they're gleaming, but I think in this video I forgot to hit record in that part, so you'll see it at the end in the photos at the end. But yeah, I do that just to give it that little extra character, I guess. So I just finished doing all the outlines on this guy. There was an awful lot of detail. This was the first one that I did on the coasters. So there was a lot of different trial and errors that I was doing on this one, and that's why it's a fairly long video. But I didn't want to delete any of that because I wanted to show you exactly what it was that I did. So you'll also notice too that when I did my leaves on the top of his head there, I kind of let my brush stroke go a little bit long and I ended up into the wood part. But like I said in the beginning of this video, I didn't like the way that the wood cracks showed up. They almost look like hair. So I do change that. So I wasn't too worried or upset that I had let that brush stroke go a little bit too long, because I will fix that up. And you'll see that when I get to that part. So now I'm just outlining everything and I am making sure that everything is separated just by using black paint. I'm using a fine lining brush that I created myself. There is a link in my description to that tutorial if you would like to learn how to do it yourself. And I find that it works really, really well. And I do this with a lot of my brushes when they've basically reached the end of their original purpose, and now I am repurposing them and giving them new life. And they last for quite a long time. So it's just another thing that you can do to keep things out of the landfills and garbages and, you know, give them a new purpose. I'm sure they'd be happy. As if they would have feelings. But anyway, so yes, I'm just cleaning it up, making it look really good. And it's really, really starting to take shape now with all of the details that I've been adding. And just by using the black paint. And this guy's got kind of like a golden smile. He is made out of wood, so he's got wooden teeth. And I just sort of separate his teeth like that. And look, he looks so good. Like he's so, I don't know. He looks so happy. He's ready. He's getting ready to sit out on the tiki bar and be ready to receive your drink. I don't know. Anyways, so I put on a little detail here. So this, I've noticed this on some of the other tiki masks that I've looked at. I looked it up on Google and I went through Pinterest. Some of them have these little carvings in them. And so obviously I can't carve into this. Well, I guess I could, but it just wouldn't look right. So I'm going to paint them on. And they're very basic symbols. So the ones on his chin, I just did like a half circle and then put 2 squares on top and 1 on the bottom. And these ones are like, they're the squares. I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like a Zentangle kind of thing where you make a square, but it doesn't touch. And then you bring it back in and yeah, so it doesn't really touch. But anyways, if anybody knows what that's called, leave me a comment because I don't know what it's called. But I did notice a lot of them had these things on there, so I thought, well, let's put that on. This being my first one, I think I wanted to put every element I could onto it, and I probably shouldn't have. Maybe saved some of those details for the other ones, but you know what? It still turned out amazing, and it was so fun to do. I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm not going to be upset about putting too much detail on this guy. He's turning out really, really well. So here I am now. I'm fixing up all of that top part and sort of taking away those little hair things, and I'm using black paint and I'm sort of making the edges on the top a little bit more straightened, and some are jagged and some of them are different sizes. And now I'm going in with the 2 colors of brown just to add shading and to cover up that green paint that I had let strike when I did my paint stroke, and it went beyond, and yeah, kind of messed it up. But I fixed it. See, I fixed it. So it's getting his eyeballs now so he can see you. And he's almost finished. And I do want to apologize if you hear any crunching in the background. My sweet dear puppy dog has decided to sit beside me and chew on her bone. So when I was recording my voiceover, I think you can hear her chomping away on her bone. So I do apologize for that, but she's enjoying it, so we'll just let her be. This is almost done. I'm just doing a few more touch-ups and cleaning up. And I do put little white dots in his eyes, like I said earlier, but it's not in this video. I forgot to hit record, but you'll see that in the photo very, very shortly. And remember, folks, life is what you make it. So get creative.